Darren, this is the first time we've spoken to you basically since joining properly. How would you summarise pre-season so far? What are your feelings overall?
It was brilliant to recruit the players that we recruited. First of all, I think that straight away made us feel strong, had a foundation to the team. It gave us a very early spine of the type of quality that we now possess. And I think pre-season, after the Farnborough game, we had to ask some questions of everyone really. But I think since Sutton, we've been excellent, really excellent, and a strange comment to make, and only coaches may understand this or may not understand this, that my favourite game was last Saturday, because the value of clean sheets is more important than anything, and the value of winning games when not performing in the way we did at Sutton or the way we did at Stratford, I thought was a bigger test. And then a 10 men, all these things are hugely important to to preparing for a campaign. And a season is a long time. I mean, it's a marathon. So I think, looking back now, I think we had pretty much every test or challenge that we'd have liked to have thrown at the players, and gave us time to address it and observe and see how they would cope with it. I thought we coped brilliantly last Saturday. Doesn't matter about the team we're playing. We're always trying to fight our own standards. So I thought the way the Cuthbert's character came out then, and Wilkinson's quality came out, Ross in goal, and then Podge coming onto the pitch. I thought he showed a lot of quality, a lot of real character.
And looking back a bit further to the end of last season, obviously you came in at a difficult time. How would you summarise your time last season, in those last few months, and what did you learn? What did you take from those?
Well, I learned a lot. I mean, I learned a lot, and the conversations John and I would have, they would kind of twist and turn week on week, of what I thought a player was going to bring us, or what I thought, or whether I thought he was going to be with us or not. And that period of time just gave me time to assess where everyone was. I thought that period of time gave me chance to not just assess what was within the group or within the club, but what was coming out from other clubs, and it allowed me to prepare the club, especially John, into, if this happens we need to act, or if that happens we need to not act, and we got ourselves so well prepared to strike. I think at the time that we released our new signings, or our existing players re-signing, I would say we were one of the most aggressive clubs in the country in terms of that, and I thought that was a culmination of a lot of work. And the one thing I didn't do when I come in is I didn't coach. Ian carried on doing a very good job coaching, but I just wanted to assess and make sure that for the future we had a really strong group of players. The fluctuation between really good performances and really bad performances was a real concern to me, and I didn't think the squad was balanced. First of all, too many positions, too many of this and not enough of that, but I also didn't feel that the quality ran throughout in depth. And we had a big group. I mean, we had 23 contracted players when I joined, and now we've got 18. So, and you look at the calibre of player and quality of CV that we've tried to attract. Hopefully now in that 18, all 18 are starters. They can be starters. I just thought when I got a chance to maybe change, we didn't retain a necessity of quality to improve on 15th this year. And look, we missed out on some. There's no doubt we missed on. Two come to mind that were in the squad that I wanted to keep. that have both left, after offers from the club. And it was a difficult time because I was always saying to players, including the ones externally, if you don't make your mind up quick, I'm going to move and I'm going to move on. So, that was a continual theme. But we were very, very fortunate that pretty much everyone top of my list or my wish list, we were able to get. It was a really, really good summer drive, and hopefully now the big man will allow them to be fit and available most weeks.
Yeah, we've talked about it quite a bit there, but what were the main qualities you were looking for in the players you're bringing in, and how pleased are you overall with the business you've done?
Well, I'm delighted because, like I said, I mean, Jim Kellerman was one of the first players I spoke to, after the season, and that took a while, but we landed him eventually. Didn't matter, how or why, or why it didn't happen earlier, but that type of thing this year was synonymous with our drive. And look, fortune does play a role, money plays a role, of course, a huge role, but everyone that we'd identified as being we wanted to be a key stakeholder in our football team, we managed to get. And the big things for me, I wanted to improve on the Football League experience in the squad. That was a big thing. I obviously made a big thing about character. I think that I love working with young players, but young players are only as good as the senior players in the dressing room. So I wanted to balance Moss, Daly, Lofthouse, Rolls, Johnson, still quite a young side, with Cuthbert, Wilkinson, Armand, Ross, McNerney, so on and so forth. And that balance was important. At the end of the year, I think we had some just shy of 800 Football League or Premier League or Scottish Premier League appearances in the squad. We're now at nearly 1,800 in 18. So we've massively upgraded there in terms of experience of playing at a higher level. Character was a huge decision maker. Wilkinson was someone I've worked with so many times before. He helps the gelling process, because he can almost be another coach for me, because he knows Darren Sarll, he knows how I like to play and my mannerisms, my emotions and things like that. So having someone like him was really important. I wanted to keep Josh Casey because of just such an integral part of the club, and I liked where Josh was going when I played against Josh. I didn't really like him that much, and I'm sure he didn't like me. I'm sure he doesn't like me much now, but he I always know that if I don't like an opponent, if I'm working with them, I know me and him are going to see winning in the same light. I thought he was a massive part of us staying. And then you need the other things. We needed more goals in the team, but the one thing we definitely have to improve on next year is the value of a clean sheet, and that's why we've got 4 central defenders, because when you lose key positions like central defence in any division, that can be the one that hurts you the most. And I think when you're loaning players in, or you're trying to provide solutions for areas that are not that you haven't got availability for, you bring in a young central defender. This is quite an unforgiving division. I always wanted to have some strength in depth at central defence, because to me clean sheets are more valuable than anything. So we went about it that way, and like I said, we did some brilliant work, and John and Drew were really excellent in it was constant dialogue between the states, especially between John and I here, but to Drew out there. And I was always trying to send them video packages. I wanted the club to buy into what I wanted to build, because Darren Sarll's not going to be at Woking forever. We all know the fragility of my industry, but I wanted the club, whatever happens, to be happy with the group of players it's got. So we did it as a team. Hopefully that's now forging a really strong bond. But we did some very good work, and yeah, I was very pleased with it. I mean, it was a lot of work, but I want the next 10 months to be as prosperous as possible.
And just finally, we start our campaign against York on Saturday. What sort of challenge will the new promoted side pose?
Well, you don't ever know whether they're newly promoted or they're come down from the EFL, or they've been in this division for 100 years. The first 8 games are so hard to predict the market and who's going to fluctuate and who's going to dip, and so I've had some horrendous starts in the past and ended up in the playoffs. I've had some brilliant starts in the past and ended up mid-table. You just don't know. It's course and distance now. It's 10 months, and every manager is going to say the same thing this time. They're going to say, supporters, stick with us through thick and thin. And they're saying thick and thin because they know that the campaign is 10 months and it's not a game or a month or a week or a Saturday, Tuesday. It's a long time, a season, a very, very stressful, demanding time. But we've recruited really well, so it gives us some hope. Some of the performances we've seen in pre-season gives us some hope. The fact that Armand has scored readily gives us some hope. The fact that we've kept clean sheets gives us some hope. So there's some evidence to say, we can definitely look forward, but you never know what the campaign's going to bring. And York and John at York will be exactly the same. No one knows. It'll be good to get going. The players are ready now. The players are ready to get going. They've had enough team meetings. They've had enough physical work. Tactical work's been a bit difficult because of numbers, but we've done as best we can there. But they're very fit, very motivated, and everyone's ready for it now. Everyone's ready to get rid of the fluff that we've had and get into the the nitty gritty of it and start stressing every Saturday.
Well, thanks for your time, and we'll see you on Saturday.
Thank you.